Yo, what's up, everybody? Now listen, I know this isn't the kind of content I usually upload because I'm just a simple gaming channel and live streaming crap. But anyway, I just am coming out with a video soon that's going to be testing all these guns in these games just to see how they are. And I wanted to talk a little bit about gun safety. I know, gun safety. Listen, it's important. Just be safe in general, because there's surprisingly a lot of people that are idiots who don't know how to use these and end up accidentally hurting themselves or someone else and facing life-changing consequences. And listen, when you get into legal trouble, I doubt that, oh, I accidentally shot them is gonna do well in court. I am going to be using a typical 1911 as a demonstration for this video. I will briefly talk about the other weapons, like assault rifles, snipers, shotguns, just talking about how to also disarm them. But it's usually basically the same basic principle. But anyway, let's get started. Now, when you have your gun completely ready to fire, if you want to disarm this and make this completely safe, first, we want you to press this. This little button right here is the mag release. Pressing it will, of course, eject the mag. But this doesn't mean the gun is safe yet. You still have something chambered. Of course, you need to get rid of. Easy way to do that, of course, is to rack this part, which is called the slide. This is the slide and this is the chamber. You were to press the mag release, and then rack the slide back again. It's going to chamber out that round. Now, of course, there's nothing to fire. But I also advise, even after being in this state, to also turn the safety on. Safety, depending on what gun you use, is going to put resistance on the trigger here, so you either can't press it, or if you do, of course nothing's going to happen. This is the slide lock. If you were to, I can't really demonstrate it in the game, but you're able to put it around here, and it'll lock back like this. And this is usually how we would put a gun on the table and just have it there. I can't really show it in this game because this game doesn't allow me to really use the slide lock. But anyway, now your gun is completely safe. Now, let's talk about actually firing. But before I also get to that, I also want to talk about trigger discipline. Trigger discipline is very simple, although you'd be surprised about how many people that just instinctively do this. But when you have your gun, and I don't know why it's not letting me do this right now, but the way that I'm holding the gun right here is not how you would want to hold it. As you can see, my finger is in the trigger guard, or whatever you call it. Yeah, I believe it is trigger guard. It's in this zone. You never want it to be here unless you are completely ready to fire something. What you would rather do is have your finger to the side. Can't really demonstrate it because it's not letting me, which is really weird because earlier I was able to demonstrate this. But just imagine my finger was out forward, not in this zone. And always keep your gun pointed away from people, whether to the side. I don't like down like this, because, I mean, yeah, but if you somehow accidentally fired, you would hit yourself in the leg, which is not good, of course. You can have it up like this, if you want. There we go, that's how you do it. You can have it up in the air like this. Really just do what you think would be the safest thing in that exact moment, because with gun safety, things sometimes change depending on what you're doing. Because, like, I mean, if you have an active round in and you somehow were, like, jogging and then you accidentally fired off a round and go into the air, that bullet's gonna come down somewhere, not just gonna disappear. So just really be careful what you're doing. Now we can really talk about firing. You want to fire your gun, make sure safety is off. Get the thing there. Take a magazine. This is the standard 7-round magazine. Insert it into the bottom. Sometimes you might have to put a little force into it to make sure it stays in there. Now, of course, once you do this, you're not ready to fire yet, because nothing is in the chamber. In order to get something into the chamber, all you have to do is rack the slide back, which, depending on the gun you use and how well it's been taken care of, might be a little hard to do. Some guns really do require you to really pull back in order to really chamber out a round. Once you're doing that, you're able to fire. Now, once you're out of ammo, the slide lock is going to, well, lock back the slide. This, of course, signifies that you are out of ammo, and you need to press the mag release, and not chamber around, but put another magazine in. After this, there are two ways to either rack and slide. Either you can pull back again, or you can do the much easier and much faster way, in my opinion. Really just depends. It doesn't really matter. Some people like doing it this way, and some people don't. But I really prefer this way. It's less cool looking, but more practical. You would press this down. This is the slide release. And if you press it, it goes back on its own. It goes forward on its own. So you are ready to fire again. That. Now, let's say you're in a dangerous situation where you really do need to get another magazine in there quickly. This is what I would prefer. Like that. See? Now, if I were to do it the other way, it requires more hand movement. It really also kind of gets you out of your whole position like this. I mean, like I said, it doesn't really change much. It just depends on how good you are with guns and what you're comfortable with or whatever you want to do within the moment. But just try not to overthink it. Just find out what's better for you. If you like it this way, and you like rack and slide back because you think it looks cooler, you do you. But if you want to be more practical, like I said, you can do what I just did. Anyway, that's basically all I have to say about pistols. Be careful what you do. Some will, of course, have their safety located in a different location. Just really look into what you're buying. Like, just be sure you know what you're buying and where everything is. But if you don't, please look up, what gun you're using. Usually some will have serial numbers, or you'll know what brand it is just by what it's called. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to talk a little bit about the same basic premises on other guns. Now, I'm going to use an AK-47 as an example, because this is probably the most popular assault rifle in the world, probably behind the carbine. But in order to make this safe, you want to take the mag out, which can be done by wherever the mag release is on your AK-40, not AK-40, but wherever the mag release is on your assault rifle, which, like I said, there's tons, and they're all different manufacturers, so just look up what you're doing, and chamber out the round. Make sure safety is on over here. Once again, also want to be safe with this. Either have it to your side. This is kind of a common way to carry it if you're walking forward. I don't really see anyone carrying it like this. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't really like that way. I really just like the typical this. Just be sure nobody is to your side, or if they are, to have your trigger discipline, to make sure everything is safe. Now, if we're talking about firing, notice that I can actually do this in 3 different modes. S for safe, middle, this is full auto. And when it comes to this, really, I mean, if you're doing like a gun range or whatever, which there is one over here, I really do not recommend having a whole mag dump. I mean, it's a lot of money, because a lot of these ammunitions are sometimes at the cheapest, like $2 a round. So it's gonna take a lot of money to just completely full auto something. Alright. Another thing I didn't mention, tactical reloading. Now, I can't really do it in this game because I can't hold 2 magazines in my hand at once. But a tactical reload is before you run out of ammo. Say you only fired 6 rounds out of your 7-round magazine. You can eject the mag and put another one in, and you are ready to fire without the need of having to rack the slide or anything. You can continue to do this as long as you want to. Now, another thing some people really love to do, which, of Of course, I do this because it's satisfying, but I can't really demonstrate it in the game. But what you would do is you would take a new magazine like this, and once you eject this mag, you would hold it into your hand, put the new one in, and you can put the other mag that you have in your other hand back in your pocket. This way you can completely reload your gun, but also saving all the ammunition that you need. If you don't really care, you can just do what I was doing and just do it over and over again. But this really applies to any gun. I mean, any gun with a magazine. You can do the same things. So yeah, I can just choose this random gun. And see, and just keep going on. Well, that's really for situations if you're desperately in danger and having like a big shootout, which, let's be honest, most of us won't be in that position. I mean, unless you are a police officer or something, which, if you are, you'd be going by an actual training video and not this video that I'm making. But anyway, that's assault rifles. Let's move on to snipers. Now, if you're with a sniper rifle, I'm guessing you do know a bit about guns, because it's not really the typical thing that you would see in a normal household. But this is the weapon. Now, if you were to disarm this one, which you'd want to do, get the mag out, wherever your mag release is on your gun. And to chamber out, you want to hold this bolt, flip it up, pull back, and keep it like that. Now, if you want to fire, put your mag in, pull back, pull up, pull back, and then pull forward, and pull back down. Now, depending on the gun, you can either keep firing, but if you have a bolt like this, most likely it's single action. And you have to do this every time in order to... Now, I don't know if there is a safety on this one, but if there is, use it. Some guns don't have safeties. I mean, some older models don't. So, be careful, just know what you're buying. I'm not gonna do something bizarre like Baron MK2 right here, because, like, if you have this in your arsenal, I'm pretty sure you're a gun fanatic and you know what you're doing. So, this video would not be for you, but anyway. Now, moving on to shotguns, which should be our kind of last category. Alright. Now, when we're talking about shotguns, just make sure you have no slugs in. Now, that's also what we call round shotgun ammunition, slugs. But alright, now that I am out of slugs. These don't come in magazines unless you're using something like a drum magazine or something, which, once again, if you're doing that, I'm guessing you do know your guns. But you can either just fully load this into the bottom, and then you would have to pop the gun, or you can do it another way. I kind of gotta get rid of this, though. I'm just gonna... Another way you can do this is putting a bullet directly into the chamber, and then doing this. Now, you might ask, why would I do that? Well, this saves you from having to cock the gun again. Well, never mind. Sorry. Alright, listen. Alright, boom. Put that in. Alright, now I should be able to fire it without having to cock it. There we go. Alright. And you can actually keep doing this if you want. But, I mean, it's really up to you. And if you want to disarm it, you can just keep doing this, like you saw me do before. Gonna round out all the ammunition, and now your shotgun is safe. Same basic principle, keep your hand off the trigger, have it down to your side, never have it pointing forward, don't play around with it. And, I think that's gonna be about it for this video. There are a couple of guns that really have different things, like, let's say a revolver. Same basic principle with this, although well, I guess it is kind of different. Got no slide or anything. Alright. Well, I should talk about this maybe, because revolvers are kind of popular. Depending on what model you're using, you're kind of, once you got that out, do that. And you can put this each round in. And I would really recommend just calmly putting this back in, because in a lot of movies you see something like this. You see like this, and then they kind of flick it to the side. Yeah, you can do that. It's faster, but it also damages your gun, depending on how often you do that. So, I mean, if you're not looking to have your gun for a long time, I mean, go ahead and go do that. I would not recommend it. Now, I'm pretty sure that's basically all I have to do. There are, of course, a couple of guns that, like I said, do have a bunch of different models and stuff, which I honestly will just save for the next video. But those are basically the main types you'd see in your video games, or movies, or really just people having them in normal real life. But anyway, thanks for watching the vid. Hope you learned something. If you didn't and you decided to watch to the end anyway, maybe you like guns as much as I do and don't mind learning the basics again because you think guns are that cool. But anyway, I will see you in the video where I do review all of them, and I will post you then.